I'm not coming down. I want to go higher, higher, higher than that.
Welcome back to the Business is Human podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Fleetwood Hession, and we're here to bring you episodes that blend meaningful work with profitable success. Here to steward what I call the age of humanity. I believe if we transform the way we work, we can transform the way that we live. As always, my friendly request, if you like what you hear, hit subscribe so you don't miss any episode, and leave a review to tell the other humans that they might like it too. Always looking to help you and connect with others. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Happy New Year. And you know what? March will be here before we know it. March is our 6th annual Stand Tall in Your Story event. So if you are in or around Indianapolis, Indiana, or you're up for an amazing road trip or flying into a great city, we do a phenomenal event around International Women's Day. This year it's on March 13th. And if you go to RebeccaFleetwoodHession.com and click on the shop tab, you can find the tickets there. And I highly encourage you to consider getting a table for you and your colleagues, your clients, your friends. We have people come from all around and in all different situations for this event because it's not only amazing speakers on the stage, which are 7 women that I've been working with for the last 7 months, and they'll be telling a 7-minute TED-like talk about their life and the empathy and vulnerability and humanity that shows up on the stage for that event is unmatched. And we love to have great conversation. So it's not just about the speakers on the stage. We're going to facilitate great questions at your table. And so if you're looking for ways to really form stronger relationships with your colleagues and clients and friends or whoever, this is the place to do it. And while you're there on the shop tab, you can grab some amazing badass Women's Council merch, like the cute little hat that I'm wearing right now, in case you're seeing this on video. All right. So I'll see you there March 13th. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I hope you had an amazing holiday season and it was everything that you wanted or needed it to be. Now, here we are, New Year. And boy, doesn't that just evoke all kinds of thoughts and ideas and emotions and things. So what I thought I'd do over the next 3 episodes is give you some reflection questions. If you've been hanging out here for a while, you know that I've done this from time to time. And I want it to be something that serves you well. So use this in the way that it serves you best. So I'm breaking this down. Today's reflection questions will be for you personally. And then next week will be about relationships. And the following week will be about career and goals and things like that. So you may hear me use the term reflection plus connection provides your direction. And so that's kind of the vibe that we're going for. So all of these will be reflection questions, but in the topic of yourself, your relationships, and your career and your goals. So another quick reminder from last year's conversation at this time is that if we're really honoring the season that we're in, winter is about nesting, hibernation, reflection. And so that flies in the face of the traditional corporate-y way of being, which is New Year, new goals, or even just from a social media perspective. New year, new you. It's time to lose weight and exercise and wash your face every night. That was actually one of my goals one year. I was really, really shooting for the mountaintops on that one. But, you know, it's whatever you want to be better about yourself. And so I just want you to have that cautionary tale that if you're not feeling it, if you're not like, yeah, I'm not in the new year, new you, go, go, go mode, your body and your brain and your soul is really set up for some hibernation and some rest. And so I'm a huge fan of honoring all that we are, that God has created us to be naturally. And so I want these reflection questions, these next few weeks, to come from a place of love. If you haven't yet listened to the episode with Eliza Kingsford about love and fear, please, 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 please go back and do that. It is so, so, so good. The essence of it is that all of our thoughts come from either love or fear, and me loving some connection to biblical principles. To me, that's all of our thoughts are either from the Lord above or Satan. And who wants you to live your best life? Yeah, that would be the Holy Spirit guiding you with love. So let's do that, shall we? Yes, spent a lot of time over the holidays doing some research for this book I'm writing about a new definition of success. And that means a lot of time in biblical principles. And just for the record, just feel like I need to say this out loud. I don't care much for religion. I've got a church, but I'm here for the relationship with my Lord and Savior who created me and I know has the best intentions and guidance for me. And so when you hear me talk about aligning this stuff to biblical principles, I just wanted to be very intent in saying that I think church has done a lot of harm in people's relationship with the Lord. And church hurt is a real thing. And there's some really good churches out there too, some really good establishments. But oftentimes religion is really about control and God was about connection. God is about connection. And so I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. More on that probably in a future episode. Definitely more on that in the book that I'm writing right now. So anywho, reflection about you. I want this to come from a place of love because no one has ever shamed or guilted themselves into a better life or a better situation. So we're not doing that today. So here's how this works if you haven't listened to a reflection episode yet. I'm going to ask you some reflection questions, and you can either hit pause and just literally reflect and think about that question as you're driving or running or doing the laundry or whatever it is that you're doing. Or you might want to journal about it and make some notes about what you're reflecting on and about. Choose your own adventure on that. But know that I'm going to go through the questions without a hugely long pause in between. So that'll be up to you to hit pause with the amount of reflection that is best for you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to reflect on you, and I want to start with some reflection about 2024, the year that we've just completed, so that you can take the things that you want to move forward with great intention. All right. So in 2024, what went really, really well? That's the question. So hit pause and ponder that for a smidge. What went really well last year? And while you're reflecting, chase those thoughts around a little bit. Why did it go well? What were the conditions that were happening? What felt good about it? You know, I love a good connection. And I recently met a founder. Her name is Paige McFeely, and her company is called Base. And what I love about her work is, well, you know, business is human and the humans running your business need support. But the support that everyone needs is going to look very different because we're all unique down to our fingerprints. So some people need help with an overloaded calendar or an overflowing inbox, invoicing expenses, personal appointments, social media. It could be anything. And finding the right virtual executive assistant can help with all of that. And that's what Base does. They're the expert in finding you not just an EA, but the right EA to ensure that the partnership is a success. They've been trusted for over 10 years. They have a proven track record and a highly skilled pool of US-based EAs experienced in a range of areas. So getting started with an EA might feel overwhelming. So Base offers these resets for just $750. An executive assistant will come and clean up they won't come there, it's virtual. They'll clean up your email, your calendar, and no commitments, just results. And as a special offer, they're giving you buy one, get one free resets. So get one for yourself and then give one to a friend, a coworker, your boss, your spouse. And then if you decide to continue working with Base to actually have a partnership with an executive assistant, they'll give you exclusive bonuses, making it even more rewarding for you and your friend. Mention my name, Rebecca Fleetwood Hession, or Business is Human podcast to get your BOGO and all the special treatment that comes with it. All right, let me know how it goes. Next question. What unexpected blessings or answered prayers or surprises or things that really weren't on your 2024 bingo card that showed up that were just really, really good? What did you learn from the trials, the challenges, the harder stuff last year? What did you learn from the trials and tribulations that you're going to bring forward into this chapter of 2025? How did you use your gifts and talents last year in ways that served others and felt really good to you? What habits or patterns served you really well last year that you want to continue or maybe even emphasize more? What's that thing that keeps stirring in your heart, your mind, in your soul, thought? It's an idea, something that when you think about it, you get kind of a warm feeling about it. Maybe you chase it away because it seems crazy, but it just won't stop. What is it? Chase that around a little bit in reflection today. See what it's trying to tell you. Don't chase it away. That's fear. Honor it with love. Let it come and just play with it for a little bit. See what it's trying to tell you. What moments brought you the most joy and fulfillment in 2024? What are some of the memories that are logged in your subconscious under, ooh, that was good, with lots of love, joy, and positive emotion? What habits, relationships, or activities drained you last year and are no longer serving you? How did you grow personally, professionally, spiritually in 2024? Break it down in whatever way makes sense to you. But how did you grow last year? Okay, now let's look forward into this new year. How do you want to use your gifts and talents more intentionally in 2025 in ways that serve others and make you feel good? Now, we know that it wouldn't be a podcast with me if I didn't ask this next reflection question. How are you going to prioritize a habit of stillness and rest in 2025 that you can truly honor from a place of love? Because we're no longer proving ourselves and working harder and doing the things that lead to burnout. We know how our nervous system works around here, and we know that we need to have rest and digest safely still as a daily pattern in order for us to be able to truly connect with love and joy. So, how are you going to prioritize a pattern and a habit for this year around rest, stillness? How are you going to honor our soul's need for creativity? And that can come in a lot of ways. It doesn't need to be watercolors or songwriting. Creativity is whatever it is for you. It's creating something, making something. And I can't tell you what that is for you, but we are designed to be creators. So, where are you going to explore some creativity, some creation in 2025? Preferably on a regular basis to at least think about it. How will you incorporate playfulness into this next year? Some fun and playfulness into your life so you're not just thinking about work. This next question, I want to remind you that we are in a place of self reflection, and we're going to do career stuff in a couple of weeks. But I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, as it relates to your whole life. Sometimes people, when I ask them questions, they'll say, well, personally or professionally? And I say, yes, because we are one person living one life. And for a part of that time, we're at work, and for a part of that time, we are not. And so when you look at your whole life, we have to look at it as you are one person living one life, because your work impacts your personal impacts your work, whether you like it or not. And so I want to ask you this next question as it relates to your whole life, not just work. How do you want to define a great life for this year? If you're looking back on 2025, let's cast it out that it's January of 2026 and you're having this reflection time. What would make this a great year? How will you know? How are you defining it? There's no right or wrong answer, only what's right for you. And here are some more traditional questions. What habits or practices do you want to start? What ones do you want to stop? And what ones do you want to continue in 2025? And again, this question is for your whole life, not just work. We're going to dig into some work stuff in a couple of weeks. But what are 1 to 3, no more than 3, goals that you want to achieve in 2025 that represent your whole life, not just your work? And finally, what's the one word as you read back through what you've written if you're journaling, or just what's at the top of your mind if you're just thinking about these things? What's one word that encapsulates all of these? You know what I think I'm going to do this year? I think I'm going to do the reflection questions, and then I'm going to put some of that into Chat GPT and I'm going to ask it, what's my one word that summarizes all of these things? Don't sit on Chat GPT for some really interesting ways to do these exercises. Okay. Now, you've got this episode. It'll be around forever. So if you want to come back to it, fabulous. And I highly encourage you to just spend some time with these questions. Pop this episode in as you're driving here and there or on the treadmill once in a while and just see what bubbles up. You might be surprised if you come back to it a few times to see what kind of patterns or differences start to arise as well. All right, y'all. Happy New Year. And I'll be back next week with some reflection questions about connection and relationship. All right. Love you, mean it.
I'm not coming down. I never left it on the ground.
Thanks for being here. You can follow us on Instagram, Business is Human, or TikTok, Rebecca Fleetwood Hession. It's a great way to share some of the clips with your colleagues and friends. All right. Make it a great day. Love you, mean it.